Hello everyone, and welcome back to Technically Unsure, where I'm not really sure what I'm doing technically. Today, I'm going to introduce you guys to another product from a vendor. We checked their product before. I'm talking about LincPlus. So we checked their first iteration of their NAS, LinkStation NAS, which also came with the unraid license. And now they are releasing and they have a fundraiser campaign, a crowdfunding campaign running, and they are introducing a LincStation S1. I think it's very fair priced, and it's like 420-ish if you go early, supporter. And then you will be able to get a NAS that basically can go up to 112 terabytes. And from the photos that I saw, it looks very neat. So on that note, here it is, okay? So this is the LincPlus LincStation S1. And as I said, it comes with an unraid license. So you are going to have a very, very good software. It's unraid, right? So, and in terms of the specifications, you will be able to insert 4 3.5-inch SATA disks to it. And also you will be able to insert 2 M.2 NVMe SSDs in it, okay? And let's take a look at it. What else is in the box? There is a box in the box.
Right, box, another box, bigger box.
This is the LincPlus S1. Does it say S1 over here somewhere? No. So there is a screen over here. There is a bunch of lights here for LAN, SSD1, SSD2, HDD1, HDD2, HDD3, HDD4. I assume these 2 SSDs are NVMe SSDs. So as I said, 2 NVMe, M.2 NVMe SSDs, and 4 3.5-inch SATA slots. And unraid is there. There is a slot over here, as you can see here. Oh, this front comes off easily. That's magnetic. So as you can see over here, this one is, you can slide it to the side. You will get a USB Type-C and USB Type-A over here, okay? And this is the power button, okay? That's the power button. And in here, you have the RAM, and there's this is awesome, actually. You know what? This is the first time I'm seeing something like this. It's so easy for replacing things that you usually replace frequently. I mean, you don't replace RAM frequently, but you get the idea. So this is magnetic cover, okay? That's it. That's all you have to do. And then you remove it, and then you will be able to pop the RAM out like that. Pop the BIOS battery out, easy. And this one is a Samsung, very good high quality RAM. So this is a SODIMM DDR5 RAM, and this particular one is a 8 GB. So you can easily upgrade this to more RAM if you want to, but not sure if you really need. So that's another story, because this one comes with an Intel N97. So there is also here, you pull this down and this part comes off, where this is the heatsink basically and the holder, and here is where you will be able to install your NVMe SSDs, 2 of them, okay? And this is like those clip ones. Can you see it on the camera? Yeah, you see it here. You just put the NVMe SSD, it installs. No screws. So everything in here, I just love it. First glance, I'm seeing it together with you. I didn't know it's that way. So anyway, on that note, let me grab, while we have it here, I'm going to use 2 new. I've used it probably in another video, but they are relatively new. And if you want to install it, I assume you can put it like that, push it back. There you go. Easy peasy. Okay. And let's put the second one as well. Okay. And remove, pull back pull back and push, pull back and push, okay? And here you have the 2 thermal pads installed. Let me remove it if I can. I don't want to use the tool, but let me do it. It's easier. Okay, so here we are. Okay. Oh my God, that was useless. Okay, the second one. All right, so here is the thermal pad, and I assume it goes the other way. This way, and that's it. That's all you have to do to install the SSDs, okay? And you want to pop it out, you do this again and you pull it out, but I don't want to, it's already sticky enough. It attached itself to my NVMe SSDs. Easy peasy. Now, in terms of I/O, in here, you have 2 2.5 gigabit Ethernet. So that's more than enough, and you will be able to basically use it as redundant. I don't know, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really, very familiar, let's say, with unraid. I'm more of a NAS kind of guy. I use NAS a lot, and I install it on many of for my friends, for myself, in here in my home lab, or even at work. So what I would say is unraid, I think there is link aggregation, but I haven't done it. I don't know, but I think there is. So we're gonna check. This is a USB 3.2, 10 gigabit, very fast, USB 2, USB 2, USB-C, this one is also 10 gigabit, and HDMI, and two 2.5s. So here there is a toggle for screen. I think if you do this, there is no HDMI output, I think. But why? That I don't know. Maybe to save power that doesn't activate it. I don't know why. But yeah, there is an output toggle over here, and also output toggle and 3 modes for the light. So middle is, I think, off, and this one is left, and that one is right, I think, where the brightness is, as you can see over here. Hopefully you can see it, yeah. So those are the light stuff, which we're gonna test when we plug it in. Yeah, and then there is a power cord right over here, a connection for power. And in the front, so let me see. So the top cover comes off, as you can see, okay? Here, top cover like that, magnetic, very easy, no screws again. And you press this, pop this out, and each one is labeled very beautifully. So you can see HD1, 2, 3, 4. So if in the unraid something is not working, it tells you HD4 is broken, you know which one it is. And then you take it out. I love it. I already love it. This is one of those that doesn't require screw and stuff. You know what? Let me grab one. I'll be right back. Okay, I grabbed these. Okay, so these are Western Digital 18 terabyte discs, 4 of them. Okay, so I am going to do it right in front of you so you can see it. We put that in, and yep, that's it. That's it. Wow, that was smooth, just like a silk. So, all right, okay, what does it say? Press and pull the latches in any direction. You can do this, and then, oh, I see. So you can, there you go. You can expand it and then lock it down, okay? I even installed it without doing that, but I guess, yeah, it is what it is, it is solid, okay? And let's put this in there. You can see it on the other camera, okay? And then we push that in, lock it, that's it. Let's see for the second one. What you can do is, let's do it properly. You can do this, you can do this, it opens up, and we install it easily, and then lock, tack, there you go, 2 clicks, okay? Very, very smooth. Okay, so yeah, this way. As you can see again on the other camera, push that in, lock. Next, pull, place, lock, and lock. Easy peasy, easy peasy. Okay, push, close, pull, place, lock. I know I'm super fast. It's not fast forwarded footage, I'm just fast, All right, that's very, very nice and smooth, okay? And there you have it. Okay, so that was it. It took me a couple of minutes to basically install 4 18 terabyte disks into this bad boy, as well as 2 NVMe SSD. And if I wanted to replace the RAM, it is right over here. Well, I'm not gonna do it. I just wanna show you the experience. It's stock settings. When you buy this, the performance you're gonna see is what you're gonna get. Not everybody gonna upgrade RAM, so we're gonna keep it as is. Now, what I'm gonna do is continue unpacking, and I'll tell you about it. That screen that you saw in there, right? Where was that? It was right over here. So this is like the front. So in here, you will see the link station over here. The screen is 1.7 inch. And for easy management, you will see stuff in there, and there's a manual explaining the steps on how to power on. There's an unraid license in there, and there's indicator light explanation. There is all sorts of stuff explaining the ports. Yep, as I said, USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type C, USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A. Yeah, so these are very fast ports, HDMI, all that stuff. The toggle switch, remember, for the screen that we saw over there, is for this screen. So yeah, it is kind of for saving power, as well as maybe some people will find this to be bright or something. They don't want this screen. You can toggle it off, and then you will turn off this display. So the toggle that you saw over here, right? This one, if you turn it down or turn it off, it will turn off this 1.7-inch screen, okay? Just so you know. And also for the light switch, as it says, 1 is the front light on, 2 in middle is off, 3 side light on. So I'm assuming there's no way to turn on the front and the side together. So it's just one or the other. All right, yeah, so there is instructions and everything over here. And there's unraid license. There is these stickers for the disks and the power supply. And the power supply is 19 volts, 6.3 amp, which is 120 watts. 120 watts, that's a lot. I don't really think you need. And also there is a screw as well as a screwdriver, which I don't really know for what. I mean, these are discs for hard disk. Oh, if you want to install SATA disks, you screw them from the bottom. That's for that. Okay. So if it is probably for that, I think it's for that. If you're installing non 3.2 and you want to install SATA disk, you can basically screw it to the mount. Let's actually check that. Now I say that. Okay. So if we remove this, put a SATA 1, 2, 3, I see 3 screw holes, not 4, but that should be more than enough. These two. Let me grab a SATA disk. Okay, so here's the SATA. So if you put it like this and you line up the holes, there you go. So 1, 2, 3, more than enough. So you can put 3 screws and put a SATA disk like this. These ones are like, this one is a 4 terabyte. So you can use disks like this, but I'm going with mechanical. I want the higher storage, not higher speed, because this is a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet NAS, okay? It's not really 10G, so the speed probably is not the highest, priority or, the most important feature about it. It's the storage size and how portable and small and easy to use everything is, okay? We talked about everything, I believe. What I'm going to do is just give me a couple of minutes. I'm going to power this up, connect HDMI and the cable and the mouse and keyboard, and we'll take it from there. I'll be right back. Okay, everything is wired up. I'm gonna turn on the power outlet. Okay, it doesn't auto turn on. That's good. And let me start screen recording. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, as you can see here, LincStation S1, and it is starting. So let me bring this closer so hopefully you can see it in here. There's not much anyway so far, so it just shows LincStation S1, 90 watts. Okay, I see something happening on the HDMI output. Let's see. Fast forward here. Okay, so I see LincPlus logo and a tiny grub. That's probably related to resolution, doesn't matter. So it's booting. Let's fast forward here. All right, as you can see on the screen, we got the IP address 172.16.180. Let's go to my computer. And here you go. This is the login screen for the unraid. Okay, so here we go. Unraid 7.0.1. I believe that's the latest version of unraid, but don't quote me on that. And in here, you will see the product info. It says LincStation S1 firmware version, and that's pretty much it. It's scrollable, but for now, that's all it shows. Okay, so, and here the LED lights came on for all the disks. As you can see here, I don't know, it's a little bit dim, but you can tell it's on, okay? I mean, yeah, when you look at it straight and from far, you clearly see these are on, okay? And let's see, so all my disks, let's see if they are detected. Let's go here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, 4 18 terabytes and 2 NVMe SSDs, which are the 2 4 terabyte ones, okay? And I am going to set up an array, and these are parity devices. Yeah, 4 GB flash SDA. I think that's the OS image. Whatever it is, it's somewhere inside. These are the ones that I installed. Okay, so what I decided to do was I used one of the disks, the last one, for parity, and I used the 3 for the storage. Okay, and I created a cache pool of 2 NVMe SSDs. I'm using those for cache. Okay, so that's what I decided to do, and yeah, I think this should be good. As I said, this is probably not the best layout, not really good with unraid, but I think this is fair. So I'm using the 4 TB NVMe SSDs. I don't have any other use for it, and the size wise, it's not a match to 18 TB ones. I'm gonna use it for cache. Don't know if I can use it for anything else, but yeah, I'm using that for cache. 2 of them. And by the way, as you can see, when we are booted, it's using 40 watts when we are booted into unraid, and not really doing much, but still it is something. So now it is doing a lot, and it is going up to like 40, 50, 40, 50. It's not really that much. This is using, okay, all right, so what happened? It is in progress, I believe. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. Okay, yep, parity sync started. It's doing its thing. So what I want to say is that you see it goes up to 56, 57 watts, 58 watts. Yeah, so that's like cap. And I wanted to show you this, right? This is the N97. It's a 4-core, 3.6 gigahertz, and 12 watt CPU. So the rest out of 12 watts is going to be the LCD screen, the lights, the motherboard, the RAM, and the disks, which is 4 and 2. So we are hitting 50, 60s, and so on. So I'm gonna wait for this parity thing to be over. I don't want that affect the performance of the tests, and then we take it from there. So we're gonna let it do its thing, and then we'll continue. Okay, so we are back, and finally, after 24 hours, I got the parity disk created. And as you can see, when I'm not doing anything and the parity disk is not working or anything, it's like 42 watts. That's what I observed. It goes up and down, but let's just say 42 watts, okay? And as you can see on my screen, I finished the parity disk, okay? And I also did a couple more things very quickly, which is I set up one test Docker container, one test Ubuntu virtual machine. I just want to show you guys that everything is also working fine in unraid. Although it's not whatever I'm going to show you, it's unraid. It's not really necessarily related to LincPlus. I just want to show you that it works. Before that, okay, so I have one share, which is 172.16.180, which is this. And also I have a couple large 10 gigabyte files. I just want to cap the 2.5 gigabit Ethernet and show you guys that it is steady-ish and stays in the 2.5 gigabit Ethernet. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Let's see. Okay, for now it's that's very accurate. That's exactly 2.5 gigabit Ethernet cap. Okay, it's dropping now. Little bit dropped, back at 283, 281, 282. I'm gonna give them a pass. Yep, that's exactly what you will get in a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet. And by the way, I have connected 2 Ethernet cables to my LincPlus NAS, and I have enabled the link aggregation in my switch. And I have to say, default, this LincPlus comes with unraid and comes with the link aggregation enabled. So if you plug one Ethernet, it works. If you plug both, it works. And let me show you. Actually, let me do one last quick copy back from there to this. Okay, so now I'm copying from NAS to my computer. And as you can see, it is again 2.5 gigabit, and it's capping the 2.5 gigabit. It looks like the read is a little bit faster. Looks like a little bit faster. Oh, I jinxed it. I should keep my mouth shut. But anyway, yeah, but there you go. It's fine. There are like small bumps in the road, but it is steady to a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet cap. And yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys that it is working perfectly. And now what I want to show you is the link aggregation thing. So you go to the settings and you go to the network settings. This is what I did not do. What I changed was just this. In the bonding mode, there are a couple of them. And by default, it was on the failover mode. So basically, if one of the Ethernet cables stopped working, we'll switch to the second one. But I enabled 802.3ad because I have LACP enabled on my switch, and now I'm doing link aggregation with LACP. A little bit different, but I mean, as I say, it's link aggregation is working fine out of box with without touching anything. It just works. Okay. Another thing I want to show you is this is my layout. So I have 1, 2, 3, 18 terabytes. So I have 54 terabyte available to me, and I'm using also the cache disk. So there's also a fast NVMe SSD used for the cache, and 4 gigabyte disk. By the way, I forgot to tell you guys. So in the front where the CMOS battery is, right across it, there's a USB disk. It's a tiny one. And there is the OS image, which is this 4 gigabyte one. Basically, what I really like about this LincPlus is that everything you want to change and play around with is so easy to access without touching the screwdriver. You want to change RAM? Right here. You want to change SSDs? Right here. You want to change disks? Right here. You want to change CMOS battery? You want to change the OS image USB? Everything is right here. And when you're done, you're just putting the magnetic cover on top of it. That's it. Okay. And another thing I want to show you very, very quickly, which I shouldn't really do when it is on, and it shouldn't really move the mechanical disk, is this LCD. As you can see, product information, LincStation S1, you can scroll it. This is touch, OS version, and all that stuff is in there. If you swipe to right side, you will see system status, memory frequency, the temperatures, which is 51 C and 123 Fahrenheit, CPU usage 6%, memory usage. You can go more to the right, you will see SSDs, but also those SSD statuses are also over here. You will see the status, the size of each disk, and their temperatures one by one. You will be able to see temperatures and size, temperatures and size. And then in the last tab, you will see all Ethernet interfaces, which is BR0, the bridge, and then Docker interface. Okay, you will be able to see everything from that tiny screen. Now you might say, okay, I'm gonna put this in my room and that is too bright, and these lights, I don't like them. Okay, watch now. I am going to turn off that screen and I am going to turn off these lights. Okay, so the lights are off and the LCD screen is off. Lights are going to be on and LCD screen is going to be on. Okay, so easy peasy. And let's keep going. Let's go back to the screen. Another thing I want to show you is the plugins. I installed DevTools. Doesn't matter. It's like our 701, probably not really working fine in it. But anyway, Docker. I literally just clicked on add container. Okay, and I just typed the tag for the container that I want to run. Like in this here in the repository, I just say nginx latest. Okay, and in the name you can say nginx 2. And basically you can click here and go for the port and say HTTP map, and port container is 80, and let's make this one 8082. There is another one that I just added, but this one is going to be 8082, and that's pretty much it. You click on apply and boom, it's up and running. So it is very snappy, very snappy. You'll see, there you go. And if I go to copy the same IP address and go to 8082, you will see nginx is running. This was my test. This was the previous one. If I refresh it, obviously not going to work because it's down. But if I click on this icon and say start, 1, 2, that's it. And if I refresh now, it's working. Okay, very snappy, very fast. Docker worked perfectly. Now VM, I want to show you VM. What I did was, as you can see, I created an ISO share and I uploaded the Ubuntu 24 server ISO in there, and I clicked on this and started it, and I went through the process and installed Ubuntu, and then you can see you can click on VNC VM console. There you go. You have access to your virtual machine. It's very fast. And I don't know if you noticed, I had this whole power consumption on the screen. When you're doing nothing, it's 42 watts. When you're using all the disks and doing VM and all that stuff, it goes like to 43, 44. And when I was doing the parity disk check, which all cores were almost being used and all disks were being used, it was like 57 watts. So it's when you're using it regularly, like using it just to run a bunch of Docker images, bunch of VMs, and copying some files over Samba share, this, I'm gonna say, this is I'm gonna call it, okay, 47 max 50 watt NAS. Very, very efficient, and it's fast. So while this Ubuntu is loading, the other thing is apps. Obviously, again, this is not really related to LincPlus, it's just unraid. And I'm using the unraid trial. I had the unraid license, I wasn't there, but anyway, they will give you unraid license. So I'm gonna show you. I showed you in the beginning when I was unpacking it. There was one. It didn't work, but I didn't bother them. It was already scratched. So it's a test demo dev unit that they sent to me, so it's fine. But when you're buying it, you are going to have an unraid version, and it's going to come with the license. I'm gonna be honest, I would still use the trial for 30 days and then apply the license, but you do you. And yeah, as I said, you can click on image, one click, and it will start working applications. There are everything else is right there. So I'm gonna do something that's not really it's not gonna make a lot of sense, but I'm just gonna do it. So if I do stress ng from here, it's inside the Docker. I just want to show you how it goes. Okay, so as you can see, I started it and it went up to 58 watts. So when you're using every single core and all the disks and screens are on and lights are on and a VM, there is one VM running, there is 2 Docker images running, so take this, and I'm doing the Docker speed test, I'm doing stress ng test from within inside the Docker. So it's going to be not really meaningful test. But the thing is, in the unraid, you can't really install these things. But anyway, as you can see, I'm getting 130,000 and basically Bogo ops per second is 4,300. I'm gonna be honest, I did this before I started recording. I was getting 44,000, 4,400 in Bogo ops, but you get the idea, okay? Another thing is in unraid, you can get a shell from the unraid itself. And in here, what I'm gonna do, I just wanna show you guys, I'm gonna do an iperf3 from here, okay? And as you can see, it is 2.5 gigabit Ethernet. And we saw that during the Samba testing, and everything worked fine. Another thing I want to show you is actually LSPCI, okay? If I do, you will see, I just noticed this, that you can see that this is a X2. So it is downgraded. The NVMe SSDs are not really super fast. And I confirmed this with another test, which I will show you. Again, this is the second disk. This is another second NVMe SSD, and it's also X2. And I confirmed this with hdparm-tt, and I did on dev NVMe0N1. You will see that the numbers you're gonna see is not really the numbers of PCIe Gen 3 X4 full speed. Yeah, so there you go. Those are the cached read and write speeds. So it's 5,000 megabytes per second in buffered and 17,000. Actually, it's not really that bad. I think I wasn't getting this before, but it's okay. But that's basically in hdparm. These are the numbers that I'm getting. Okay. And if I do the same test with like SDC, I believe if I go to this SDC, yeah, one of those mechanical disks that I put there, 18 terabyte one, Western Digital Gold. So you will see the difference. Yeah, there you go. So that's the cached reads speeds, and this is going to be buffered, yeah, 736 megabyte compared to 5,000 megabyte. Okay, so that's the speeds that you're going to get. I believe I covered pretty much everything about it. I showed you guys the disks, the NVMe SSDs, how we can replace things, how we can see the screen, speed test, unraid, and Docker and virtual machine. Oh yeah, so last thing we were waiting for it to boot. Let's see if it booted. Okay, so as you can see, it is booted. And if I enter the credentials, by the way, when we were doing StressNG and a couple other things that I was doing like disk benchmark, whatever, this was there. So yeah, there you go. You have a full-blown Ubuntu 24 server with the GUI. I installed Ubuntu desktop over it. Yeah, there you go, Intel N97. Everything is working perfectly. So I am impressed. I'm going to be honest. Let's shut down this VM, but yeah, you can see the GUI works, everything works, shell works. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Everything worked, and the price is fair. This is $400, I believe, 400 something with a change. I will put the link to their Indiegogo campaign. Whatever site they are using to fundraise, crowdfunding. You will be able to get yourself one of these. It is fancy, very easy to maintain and replace components, and it is delivering what it is promising. It's gonna give you unraid works. This screen and the plugin, whatever they have, the firmware works. Disks work, speeds are fine and okay. Shares speeds can hit the 2.5 gigabit. Link aggregation, HDMI output. Yeah, whatever I could test the speed wise, everything is working perfectly fine. Okay, one more thing I want to show you. I shut it down. Okay, so now let's watch. Okay, as you can see, my room, when I'm not talking and there's no noise, it's like 46 dBA. Now I am going to turn it on and stop talking, and you guys just see that it's not going to change the noise levels. Okay, so you get the idea. Basically, it doesn't really make any noise, and initially when you turn it on, the fans ramp up, CPU, everything is working, and then my mechanical disks initialization makes some noise, like 2-3 decibels, and then it just goes back to completely like how it was when it's not turned on. So yeah, it doesn't really make any noise at all. It's super quiet. And yeah, I believe we tested everything, and regarding the hardware, I have no issues, no complications, no problems. I like the design, it's neat. I like the fact that I can replace all the common things that I would like to replace without touching the screwdriver, which is very neat. And all the parts that are, you know, magnetic and easy to access. The fact that it comes out of box with unraid, and link aggregation worked out of box, and you know, everything. This screen gives me a lot of information regarding regarding the NAS and everything. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this. I loved everything about it. It's really neat looking, very low power consuming NAS. So yeah, please guys, let me know what you think about this down below. And if you have any questions, again, leave it down below. I will try to answer it. If I don't know, I will contact the vendor and get you the answers you are looking for. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.